Hello everyone, I welcome you all to today's session wherein we will be discussing the CAT 2024 slot 2 LRDI section. Now as you all know, this section had 5 sets in it, 2 sets of 5 questions each and 3 sets of 4 questions each. We will be taking them up in the order in which they will be appearing in this particular presentation. So let us start with the first set that we had in the CAT 2024 slot 2. Now this set, once you will go through it, you will understand, is more like a puzzle, actual puzzle. Now when I say it's more like a puzzle, what I mean to say is, this set some of the students were able to solve it in like 4 to 5 minutes, whereas there was a different group of students, other group of students which were struggling with this set even after 10 minutes. So that means if you get the things right, the conditions right, if your ability to solve such puzzles is greater, of course the time taken for solving this set would have been much lower. Let us go through the information once. It says the numbers 1 to 10 are placed in the 10 slots of the following grid based on the conditions below. So this is the grid that we have here, and we are supposed to place some numbers out here in these spaces. Let us read the conditions. So the conditions read, numbers in any row appear in an increasing order from left to right. So if you take any row, row 1 or 2 or 3, 4 is anyways a single block, so we will not worry about 4. So row 1 or 2 or 3, the numbers are placed in such a way that from left to right they increase. So that means the smallest will come here out of the 4 numbers, the second smallest, the second highest and the highest. Numbers in any column appear in decreasing order from top to bottom. So that means from top to bottom you will write down the numbers in decreasing order, descending order, strictly descending order. That would mean you will start with the highest number here, second highest, the second lowest and the least, and this is how you will write it. So from here to here it is in descending order. So basically what does it mean when I say it is increasing order? So that means the smallest will come on the extreme left and the highest will come on the extreme right in any row. Similarly, when I say in each column the numbers are written in descending order, what does it mean? That would simply mean in each column the highest would come at the top and the lowest would come at the bottom. So that is what it means. So combining both the pieces of information, can we say this particular cell should be highest row wise also and column wise also. So that means in this particular block, in this cell, we must have the highest possible number, which is 10 for sure. So we must have 10 here, we can say that must be 10. I hope we are clear with this, because if you go along the row, we should get highest at the extreme right block. When you go along the column, we should get the highest at the extreme top column, top block. If you go along any column, alright, you should get the highest at the extreme top block. So that means this particular block should be the highest overall. So that means it can be 10 only. One is placed either in the same row or in the same column as 10, either in the same row or in the same column. So what I will do is I will just write down those conditions here. So 1 should come along with 10 in the same row or along the same column. This was the third point. Neither 2 nor 3 is placed in the same row or in the same column as 10. That means the next condition is wherever 10 is, we already know where 10 is, we placed 10 there, right? We placed it here. So whether I take this case or this case, 10 should be here. So that would mean 2 or 3 cannot come in row 1 or column 4. So 2 and 3 cannot be placed in row 1 or in column 4. Next, neither 7 nor 8 is placed in the same row or in the same column as 9. So that means 7 or 8 cannot be in the same row as 9 nor same column as 9. Okay. and the last point is 4 and 6 are in the same row. So 4 comma 6 should be in the same row. So these are all the conditions with which we will be working while filling up these cells. So I have taken few cases already because by looking at the conditions I could foresee that there would be multiple possibilities that we might get. So thus I have taken at least to start off with 2 cases. If we need more, I have created more tables also. We will use them later. Let us start with these 2 first. So as we said from the first 2 points, 10 should come at that particular, from 1 and 2 we said 10 should come only here in both the cases. Now once 10 is here, can I say 1 and 10 should be in the same row or in the same column? So that means in this case or this case 1 should come either in row 1 or column 4, and similarly row 1 or column 4. Now one more thing, if at all 1 comes in row 1, it must come in this particular cell, right, because it is the smallest, it should come here, and if it comes in column 4, it must come here only, nowhere else. So that means the position of 1 are fixed, 1 will be either here or here. Let us talk about 9. What about 9? Where can 9 come? Now please note, 9 is the highest number which is still remaining. 10 is already gone, placed, 9 is the remaining highest number. So that means 9 now should come. Where can it come? Let us think about 9 now. Where can it come? Can 9 come here? Obviously not, right, because between 10 and 9 we should have a number which is greater than 9 but less than 10, not possible. So if at all it comes in column 4, it can come here only. If at all it comes in row 1, it can come here only. So basically this will be 1 by 3 column, 1 by 3 cell, right, row 1 and column 3 cell. Let us use this nomenclature. 1 by 3 would mean first row and third column. It could either come in 2 by 4 or 1 by 3 cell, it can come nowhere else. So we have 2 cases to start off the case for 9 with. So let us start with placing 9 here, case 1. Second case is let us place 9 here. So we are working with both the cases parallelly. Right. Now once you place 9, we have a condition pertaining to 9 that 9 cannot be in the same row as 7 and 8. 7 and 8 cannot be in the same row as 9, nor in the same column as 9. So if I take this case, so that means 7 and 8 in this case cannot come here and cannot come here, 4. So where can 7 and 8 come? Let us think about it. Now 8 is the remaining highest number, the remaining highest number is 8. Now 8 could have come either here or here. So basically in 1 by 3, the cell 1 by 3 or in 3 by 4, this or this. But clearly 8 cannot come here, so 8 in this case can only come here. Next, the next remaining highest number is 7. Now again 7 can either come here only or here only, 7 cannot come anywhere else if you will see. 7 cannot come here, 7 even cannot come here, because if 7 comes here, between 8 and 7 I want a number to place in between them, not possible. 7 cannot come here also. So basically 7 for the number 7, these cells are gone, they cannot, 7 cannot come here, even this cell is gone on account of the logic shared now, these cells are gone. So that means 7 can only come either here or here. So that means now I can place 7 here only. So we are done with the largest 4 numbers in first case. Now what remains now? Now we are left with 6, the next highest is 6. Now where can 6 come again? 6 could either come here or here, 6 would come there or here, right, or possibly 6 could also come somewhere here, for example probably here, right. But there is one condition pertaining to 6, 4 and 6 should come in the same row, right, 4 and 6 should come in the same row. So if I keep 6 here, that condition will be violated, so 6 clearly cannot come here. So 6 if at all it comes, it could come here, right, or possibly 6 could come here also. So we have 2 positions left for 6, 6 could be here also, 6 could be here also. If 6 is here, 4 will be here, if 6 is here, 4 will be here. Now there was one more condition pertaining to 2 and 3. So since we placed 10, the condition was 2 and 3 will not be in the same row or same column as 10. So 2 and 3 cannot come in row 1 nor in column 4, so that means 2 and 3 must come in these 3 cells for sure. But as we see, please note, in both the cases of placing C, if 6 is placed here, 4 will come here. Listen to this, I will just draw it and show it to you. If 6 is here, 4 is here, right, and if 4 is here, 2 and 3 should be here only for sure. So, they can only come in one way, 2 here and 3 here. But that will violate the condition that this particular column is not having the numbers in decreasing order. So, it should have been 8, 4, 3, not 8, 3, 4. So, thus I say 6 cannot come here, in this place 6 cannot be. So, that would mean the second case that I am left with is placing 6 here, 6 cannot come here. Place 6 here, if 6 is here, 4 will be here. Yet again there will be no position possible left for 2 and 3. So, 2 and 3 will have to come only in this one cell, not possible. So, that means eventually I go on and say I can never place 6 in this particular case. So, if you cannot place 6, there is no point going ahead. You cannot really go ahead with this case. So, this case is eliminated. So, that means 9 cannot be in column 4. Now, next case 9 is in row 1. Only 2 possibilities were there for 9. Either 9 could be here or here. This case we have proved it wrong now. So, let us consider the other case. 9 is in row 1. So, if 9 is here, so in this particular case 7 and 8 cannot come here in row 1. 7 and 8 cannot come in column 3. Now, 8 is the remaining highest number. Where will it come? It can either come here or here, nowhere else, right? Because things are cancelling out, it cannot come anywhere else. So, 8 we can only place it here now. Next 7, where can 7 come? 7 can come either here or here, but again 7 cannot come here. So, we will place 7 here only, that is the only place left for 7. Now, we are left with 6, next highest is 6. Where can 6 come? 6 could come here, but again clearly 6 and 4 should be in the same row, not possible. So, 6 will not be here for sure. So, what is the next possibility for 6? 6 could come here, or can we say 6 could also come here? That also seems possible currently, because if 6 is here, 4 will be here. But again recall this point that I have taken, 2 and 3 cannot be in row 1 or column 4. So, that means 2 and 3 will be in these 3 cells. But if you place 6 here, 4 will also be occupied. So, you will left with only one cell for 2 and 3, not really possible. So, 6 cannot be here, 4 cannot be here. So, which is the only position left for C now, for 6 now, 6 can only be here. And if 6 is here, 4 should be in the same row, 4 will be here. We place 4 and 6 together. Now, please remember we said 1 will either be in row 1 or column 4. Row 1 all cells are filled. So, we are left with only one cell in column 4. So, that should be 1. So, we are done with 7 numbers already. We just left with 3 others, which are 2, 3 and 5. 2, 3 and 5. Now, how do we place them? 2, 3 and 5. Now, can I have 3 here? Let us think about it. We are almost at the end of this case. Can we have 3 here? What happens if I place 3 here? This is 3, this should be 2, right? And this should be 5. If this is 3 and this is 2, this should be 5. I will say not possible. Why? Because this is not in increasing order. It should have been 3, 5, 8, not 5, 3, 8. So, 2 cannot come here, 5 cannot come here. Can this be 2 and this be 5? Again not possible. Why? Because this column should have numbers in the decreasing order. 9, 3, 5, no, it won't work. 9, 5, 3 would have worked. So, overall can I say 3 cannot be here. Same logic, 2 cannot be here. You can try that out. You can easily see that the case of 2, because if you place 2 here, you will get 3 and 5 here, impossible. So, the only possibility is you can have 5 here, that is the only way. So, if you place 5 there, now we are left with only 2 and 3. So, how would 2 and 3 be placed? Can I place 3 here? Very well, yes. Along this column, numbers are in decreasing order. Along this row, numbers are in increasing order, works well. If 3 is here, 2 should be here, that is also okay. 6 and 2 are in decreasing order, 2, 5, 8 are in increasing order, that is okay. Interchanging them is also okay. So, that means if 2 is here, 3 will be here, and if 2 is here, 3 will be here. So, this is what we will get eventually, alright. This is the case that we will get finally, and once we are done with this, our set is solved. And the best thing about this set was this had 5 questions. So, this was the 5 question set. And if you will ask me, with little bit of practice of these type of questions, it was pretty much doable. And I would say the time that one should have taken, right, with one with good practice and all, would be around 6 to 8 minutes. He or she would have been able to arrive at this particular case. So, once we arrive at this, so this is the case that we had, right, 4, 6, 9, 10, first row, 4, 6, 9, 10, 2 or 3, 5 and 8, 2 or 3, 5 and 8, 3 or 2 and 7, 3 or 2 and 7, and then you had 1, that is fine. Now, question number 1, what is the row number which has the least sum of numbers placed in that row? So, clearly it is row 4, right, row 4 had 1, the least number. So, which row number is that? So, it is 4, we will say. What is the row number he is asking us, alright. So, row number is the last row, 4. Which of the following statements must be true? Definitely true. It says 10 is placed in a slot in row 1. Is it so? I think it is correct, right? 10 was placed in row 1, yes. So, that is correct. 1 is placed in a slot in row 4. That is also correct, I think. Row 4, 1 is placed in row 4 only. That is also correct. So, both 1 and 2, the third option should be the correct answer. Which of the following must be true? So, 10 is placed in row 1, that is correct, 10 is placed in row 1, and 1 is placed in a slot in row 4, that is also correct, 1 is in row 4, so both are correct. Third one, which of the following statements must be true? Third one also is must be true. 2 is placed in a slot in column 2, 2 is placed in column 2, now may or may not be, because 2 could be in column 2 also or in column 3 also. So, that means this statement is not necessarily true, but is asking us must be true. See, had the question been which of the following statements may be true, then I will select it. 3 is placed in a slot in column 3, again that is also not really sure. So, 3 could be in column 3 also, column 2 also, that is also not really always true. So, neither 1 nor 2 should be our answer. For how many slots in the grid, placement of numbers cannot be determined with certainty, as we saw only 2 slots, these 2 slots, we are not sure, it could be 2 or 3 or 3 and 2, 2 and 3 and or 3 and 2. So, only 2 slots we are not sure. What is sum of the numbers placed in column 4? So, if you just add up the column 4, this one, 25 and 1, 26 will be the sum. That is going to be our correct answer. So, so this is the table that we got based on the given conditions, alright, and I hope you have followed the logic that we used to arrive at this particular arrangement of numbers. So, once this table is done, the questions are very, very direct, as you see. Okay. So, with this, we are done with this first set.